Hi there, welcome to another edition of Fly Tying with the Montana Angling Company. Today we're going to be tying the high-vis Griffith Gnat on a Hanak 130 BL hook in a size 16. So we'll be using an iron gray 8/0 uni thread that we'll just tie in, leaving a little space at the front, giving it just a quick snip. And the only difference in this pattern is we're going to have a sort of a sparkle flag type high-vis post at the front that really makes this pattern nice and easy to see. We'll be using this white McFlylon for, and usually with this bug, it's sort of the first thing I do is just tie in our post, sort of measure it out on the body, and this will be just sort of hanging out here for the whole rest of the pattern. We'll just tie it in, and I'm going to give it a little trim. This is a really great, high-floating, easy-to-see midge cluster pattern. Works really well when there's kind of big early spring midge hatches going on some of our western tailwaters like the Missouri and Bighorn River, but then also again in the fall and early winter, really throughout the winter while the midge hatches are going on. And then we'll use a whiting midge saddle, pro-grade one. We'll tie it in just in Grizzly, and really not too important how you tie it in this step, but just sort of facing backwards and bringing it around. And these saddles are really nice because we probably won't need to use hackle pliers when we're tying, or palmering it forward rather. Cool, so we'll have it just hanging out, and then we'll tie in 3 pieces of Peacock. And I always use multiples in Peacock. I know I've talked about this before, but just because it's not the most durable material, and sometimes one piece will break while you're palmering, and you'll be glad you have the other 2 when that happens, because even there already one broke. That one though we can just tie right back in, no problem. Yeah, cool, and bringing it all the way back, and then bringing our thread forward. And the nice thing of already tying the post in is now we just palmer right up to our tie-off point. Just sort of making sure we don't overlap our Peacock too much. But on these bigger sizes, it's really just a sort of contrasting body material. 3 at a time, almost there. We just want to make sure we have a little space left over at the front there. Yeah, tie it off. And with this Peacock, I always like to use scissors, just so you don't accidentally pull it out from under the thread wraps, especially with an 8/0 thread. Yeah, and now we just do the same thing with our Grizzly saddle hackle here. And we'll try to keep the barbs pointed backwards, but it didn't happen, but not terribly important. And just kind of spacing them out. You don't need it to be too dense, especially with a lot of these whiting hackles. Sort of a little goes a long way. Just a couple wraps there, and then tie it off. And really at this point, this is the end of sort of the traditional Griffith Gnat pattern, and sort of my only custom addition here is we're going to add this high-vis wing to it, so we'll just pull it back just like you would any other sort of flag type bug, and one couple tight-ish wraps, and we're pretty much done now. Put a little super glue on the thread there, just enough to bind it, and we'll whip finish it off. And there we are, high-vis Griffith Gnat. Really great bug, and especially for older eyes, you can see it really well, and this is one of those patterns the fish don't like to hesitate on. They'll come up and grab it. I'll just trim that, make it a nice height. But yeah, easy to see, and you can see from the bottom, you can't really see the white. All the fish really see is kind of your standard Griffith Gnat, and there it is. Thanks for watching.